Good evening, Medheads. Welcome to our third episode of Feast and Famine, Medenvard Reborn, Season 2 of our tabletop campaign, created by yours truly, Nasty Nate. However, this show would be nothing without our cast of captivating past mercenary captains. Well, they never made it that far, but they get the credit now. Please introduce yourselves, my friends.
Oh, man.
I'm Wilton Bonecrag. I'm a fucking mouse.
Shit, I forgot he was a mouse. Forgot you were a master splinter.
That's just one of
He was Slop Tops, and I'm a fucking time traveler.
You can go ahead, John.
John Gilmore, and I'm a bit confused right now.
Edgar Noam. Oh, God. Okay. Edgar Noam and Wilton Bonecrack looks like a moving puppet, and it's freaking me out.
I almost went with something
Do
similar.
you know the Muppet Man? The Muppet Man?
I was going to say animatronic,
yes.
but nobody knows what the fuck that is.
So I will give you. So here you are. You guys are in the middle of this camp. It's there's chopped trees in a large circle. There's the corpses of these soldier-like individuals that you fought with their futuristic weapons. Not the day before. You guys, this is just after the combat. You all guys are all still breathing heavy from this encounter. John standing over the body of a man he just punched to death, and you see the weapons lying on the ground, fallen trees. There's a lot of blood in the area, and where the gun exploded, all of the plants in that whole section have like just turned gray. So like even like the bark of a tree that's nearby where the gun exploded, where there was that big flash of purple that mutated both Edgar and Daigle. Yeah, you see that there, and looking at Wilton, you see that he's a small mouse man. His fur is black gray. His eyes are pinkish red, and they look moist. He has one round ear. One of his round ears has been sliced in two, and it's held together with a pair of iron bands. He is stocky, muscular, and his whiskers seem to curve downward, almost like a wide mustache. And he's naked other than like a sack that he's been allowed to wear as he was being tortured.
between my legs.
Yeah. And from behind you guys, if you remember these other rat men along with another human just burst out from the from behind you. So out from the bushes, you see these three other rats come into sight with a human next to them, and one of the rats is wearing a lab coat and glasses, and he says, Lenzer, you survived!
Not Lenzer.
He's talking to Daigle. To Wilton. Sorry.
Not Lenzer anymore. It's old Wilton in this body now.
So he looks incredibly confused. What are you talking about? Did they? He says, I can see your fur modeled against your neck. They choked you. You must have lost some brain cells. Please, he says, Frank, please go around and help him. And you see one of the rats walks up on the side, and he says, Peter, Sammy, make sure the location is clear. And you can see that the rat and the human begin going around both sides of the camp.
I'd like to retrieve that gun that I threw.
I also want to retrieve my cleaver. I remember.
Okay, yeah, you guys start picking up your weapons, and as
examined,
the man with glasses and sandals and his cane walks up towards you with another a guy who's dressed in leather armor, wearing a fedora with a scoped rifle on his back. Another rat. They begin approaching Lenzer, and they're looking around at you guys, and and he says to you, he says, so these must be friends of yours. They look like wastelanders. He says, do they speak our tongue?
They have. Well,
We will.
did we read our book last time? I don't remember. It'd still be the same day.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. They don't, but they can understand us.
Okay,
Oh,
very
you.
well. And he said, and as he's talking to you, you can see you actually are understanding that this is part of the language, but you can see that like as he's like talking to you, he's like doing some gestures with his hand, and also his rat tail is like moving from behind him, and you can see that like the movements that his tail is making are part of the communication. And
When I talk, do I involuntarily do that?
you do.
Okay.
So you guys can see that he's like talking with his rat man, and he's doing this thing with his tail. He says, "But Lenzer, you're not looking so hot. I should run a diagnostic on you."
I am telling you, my guy, I am not Linzer anymore. Your boy is dead. They hung him. I retrieved his body. I sucked my soul into him.
Linzer, he's a bit kooky right now. We were hired mercenaries to save him. We saved your guy here. He's took a little bit, couple lumps on the head. He'll be fine by tomorrow morning. I elbow Wilton.
Okay, do a deception, yeah, because you're lying.
All right.
You're a lying piece of shit.
Don't Crag.
Oof.
Always
What do you
gotta
get?
lie.
What do you get plus that?
I think I got a +2 on deception.
Okay, so yeah, he looks towards you, and he just kind of narrows his eyes a little bit, and he says, yeah. He says you must have just bumped his head. All right, and you can see that the others like come in from the outside of the camp to the human. You can see when the human walks up, he's also wearing a lab coat, and he's got like these tattered black pants, and he has a mechanical tail coming out from behind him too. And when he opens his mouth to talk, you can see that his teeth are kind of filed to look more like the rat people. And he says, "There's nothing on the outside, sir." He says, "Do you think this is a good place to set up camp for the night? There's good visibility. I could set up the auto turret."
Are you talking to me?
And no, and and the old man says, he says, "Yes, go ahead. Begin building up a perimeter. Going to have to see about see if I can get through to Lenzer here, so we can move forward with our mission."
And what mission might this be?
So
As you know, I've got knocked on the head.
you actually remember.
Oh, okay.
So from your memory that you pulled from Lenzer's brain as his psyche was like passing from your own mind, you actually remember the faces of these people. It's starting to come back to you, and you remember the Dean and Frank. So Dean is this old man, and Frank is the one wearing the leather armor with the rifle, and you remember that your task was you had found the entrance to a vault known as to a place known as Center Cell. And that's what you were doing. You were supposed to be taking them to this place, but you're not really sure why they needed to go there.
Gotcha.
But you remember the location of this vault. So Frank comes up from the other side, and he's like going through their tents, and he comes out and he says, "Well, Lenzer, looks like they got your bag here."
I reach out and grab it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's got everything in it still, but we'll get you back up to speed. And he hands you the bag. You can see that there is your weapon in there, which is sort of a black crystal that's attached by a chain to a knuckle guarding grip. It's some type of flail, and also in your bag you can see that there's some tools you're familiar with. There is a heat cutter. There's one fuel cell. If you want to start taking this down.
Yeah, I was trying to get to my spot real quick. Hold up.
Gotcha.
1 second. Let's put it right here.
All right. You got the heat cutter, one fuel cell. You got the rucksack, your new backpack. You got 10 water purifying tablets, 10 millet cakes, a set of gaunt leather armor, and a flare gun with 4 rounds.
Okay, so I got 10 tablets and then a flare gun.
Yep, 10 water purifiers, 10 rations of millet cake, your armor, yeah. And the heat cutter, which the heat cutter you remember is actually like one of your most important tools. So you do know how this tool functions. From Linzer's mind. So as he hands you your bag back, Frank looks you in the eyes and he says, "You remember what we're doing this for, right? You know how important this is."
Why don't you remind me?
He says, "Maybe not around these guys. Who are these people anyway? How'd you end up with these guys? As far as I knew, what happened to your friend? You were out here in a party of 3. And you weren't at the rendezvous point. We had to come here through the forest. And we thought for a second that you might have been captured by some of the headhunters from Sanctuary. But it looks like somebody hunted their heads instead. Is that your friends here?"
Yes, these are friends from the past. And they just happened upon me and they saved my life.
So I'm guessing Jeff and Rinko, they're gone?
As far as I know.
I want to nudge Edgar and be like,
Fuck,
did we just
man.
kill Slop Tops? He said Sanctuary.
I hope not.
Fuck,
Like
man.
that's where they were. That's where we were going, right? With Sanctuary?
Yeah, we were going to Sanctuary.
Okay, yeah.
He says Jeff was only 3 years old. He had a lot of years ahead of him.
Rat ears. Oh, man.
Oh, Jeff will be missed. He was
Wait.
most of the time when someone calls somebody a rat, it's never a good thing. But Jeff was a good rat. He was a good rat.
Wait, how?
Okay, roll a deception.
Wait, do they understand
You're
us?
talking.
If I was Wilton,
Yeah, you guys are able to speak.
if I
now.
was Wilton, I'd be worried about how old I
Yes,
am and
that-
rat years and how many more years I got left. Well, you're only 2. Okay. Well, that's good because you need a human body before that.
You're only 2
You
years
said-
old?
You said who was a good man?
Yeah.
Or a good rat?
Jeff.
Did you say he was a good rat?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He said. What would he say? He says, he says, human, that's disrespectful. He says, we are the Mao. And yes, Jeff was a good man. An even greater Mao.
I don't mean to break up the
I
rat pack.
thought you were.
I don't mean to break up the.
I thought you were all afraid of the mouse.
The Maos? What?
Meow.
So,
He said, I don't understand. You wastelanders are so strange.
I don't mean to break up this rat pack, but can anybody tell me what these nipples are on my shoulders? I'm just brandishing the nipples on my
Oh.
shoulders.
Do you take your shirt off?
Yeah. I'm just like shirtless, looking at him.
Yeah. Okay. So Dean looks over at you and he ushers over to what's his name to Peter, the human guy, and says he says, here, you see to Lenzer, retrieve the gear, set up the auto turret, and bring out the diagnostics device, and we will have a look at him.
Also, what's going on with
And,
Diego's feet?
So he comes over and he looks at your shoulders and he says, and he looks you in the face and then he looks at your shoulder nipples and he says,
You might need a brassiere for
odd.
that.
He said, that's odd. This appears to be flash mutation. He says, I'm guessing this happened recently.
About 2 seconds ago.
It happened at a cat house. I had some dirty bro just hopping on his shoulder, and he goes on, and I said, "Hey, you're not wearing any of my shoulder pads, no my cloak or nothing."
Fucking cat.
Daigle, I'd be concerned about your feet.
But yeah, he looks at those and he says, well, we can take a look at these. He says it's very strange for a Sardashian to come down with a flash mutation. He said it must have been a brilliant burst of nuclear energy.
One of these guns exploded, and am I gonna grow nipples too if I keep using this?
He says, He says, "Yup." These are some of the. He says, "Yup, you'll grow nipples." No, he doesn't. But he said, but he's looking at them and he says those degenerate Neville cores. He says the further you get from New Lang, the more shoddy their gear becomes. They're using dysfunctional arc rifles. I'm surprised this was even able to fire. And he looks over at your clothes and sees that somebody has been shot. I believe it was Daigle that got shot, right?
I don't think it was the guy that Daigle was trying to interrogate and he wasn't listening, so I shot him.
And his weapon exploded, right? Is that what happened?
His weapon exploded like shortly after that, or like someone's weapon did, and then I threw my gun away because that weapon exploded. Then I retrieved it at the beginning of this game.
I'm familiar with mutations. I'm not familiar with flash mutations. Nothing so quick.
Flash.
The pun.
He says, well, the truth is we're not entirely sure what causes them. Some believe it to be a type of highly reactive bacteria that forms in host organisms such as Sardashians like yourself or humans or Mao. And occasionally, when they're fed a surge of energy, they can cause random and incredible mutations in a short period of time. And these are often not fatal, which is the strangest thing about it, as large spikes in radiation would normally kill a person.
Are there benefits, the majority of them?
He says some of them are rather neutral. Many of them are beneficial, dependent to your lifestyle, and still others cause people to become pariahs, exiled from their usual places just because of the nature of those mutations.
Oh,
Monkey feet.
we have no problem with being exiled. I flicked the one on my right shoulder to see if it does anything.
You flick it, and you do feel that it feels sensitive when you flick it,
I go over and I grab it.
and it leaks a little bit of purple fluid.
Oh my god!
You know that there? No, a lot of people consider the nipple to be an arousal zone.
Hey, Daigle, you should lick that fluid.
I stick my finger in the fluid and shove it in Daigle's mouth real quick. It's like, why don't you try it?
Guy trying to die.
What are you doing? What are you
trying
trying
to put the purple fluid in Daigle's mouth.
Oh God! Okay.
You need a guinea pig.
Roll it. Both you guys roll.
Oh, fuck.
Oh wow! 8 and 8.
Oh shit.
Is that Dex?
Yeah, it's Dex. Dex on Dex.
Dex on Dex. I got -1 to Dex.
Okay. So Daigle's barely able to keep your shoulder nipple clear from his mouth, but he does.
The fuck away from me! You're not fucking nursing. You're not nursing me. You fucking crazy.
Why'd you touch it?
And Dean says, "I'm beginning to think that all of them are succumbing to radiation poisoning."
I
There are no fucking nippers on me.
Let's say
I just got these two.
Let's say I was raised by humans. What exactly can you tell me about Sardashian's history?
Sardashian history? He says, well, you're asking the wrong person. You'd be better to speak to a Palmanid. The men of Con Kill do regular trade with the Sardashians, but they are quite mysterious people. Further than trade and barter and the works that they do with sulfur at Lake Headfallow, little is known of them.
Okay.
I'll tell you this. I'm a bit of a Parliament myself. I let me go to sleep some nights.
What? Wait, what?
Masturbation joke. He said he's a bit of a palm of whatever. Sometimes he has a hard time going to sleep at night.
Okay.
Okay, skips to my next question. How familiar are you with alchemy, and do you know where I can find maybe a shop? Okay.
He says alchemy. What is this, the year? What is this, the year of 2,300?
I'm not.
Is it not?
I just look at everybody else and shrug because I have no idea what year we're in right now.
I shrug too. I'm like what? Like what?
He says, what do you mean alchemy? Do you mean chemistry? Do you mean turning lead to gold? What do you mean?
Let's say hypothetically, I'm trying to mess with the God's work of creation. Where can I find stuff like that? I'm trying to
Mess with the God's work of creation.
Trying to fuck with the homunculi thing. Didn't you say I could do that? Right?
He says, well, it depends. He says it depends on what you mean. He says there are many humans that defy what one could call the God's creation, such as the natural order of this world. The men of New Lang are such a type, despicable as they may be.
Are there any in Salvation?
And
Are there any in Salvation?
Oh, Sanctuary.
Salvation. What am I talking about?
He says, I'm not sure that there are any great scientists in Sanctuary. He says there are many back in our home, which is long from here. But of this I can say no more.
What does this gun shoot? And where can I find more of it?
Yeah, so you can see there's a spent like black kind of like carbon casing. It's in the bottom of it, and you can see that there are these power cells, and near it, or actually like attached to its hilt, are more of the power cells. There's 2 more power cells.
Look at us over here just asking these
Hey, Wilton.
rats.
I see that you got a power cell. Give me.
What?
Well,
Do I have a fuel cell?
Oh, he's got a fuel cell. They're different
Okay.
types.
okay. Damn, so close.
Look at us asking these rats all these questions about this world. Like, it's just our guide into this new world.
So Peter comes back after. Oh, hold on.
Peter Piper.
Peter comes back after a short time and says, "Well, the machine is up and running. I've got the solar cells engaged, and the auto turret is perched. If you want to run diagnostics now, Doctor Dean, right this way."
Be much obliged. I'm gonna follow.
And he takes Lenzer, or he takes who he believes to be Lenzer. He reaches out for your hand.
Oh, I thought they were for me too. My bad.
I go with him.
Okay, he takes you over to the machine and he sets up. First, he draws a little bit of blood and he puts it into the machine. He hooks up something around your wrist and pumps it full. You can see all these like letters and numbers and stuff showing up on the screen, and you're unsure what they mean, what a lot of it means. You can read it, but you don't really know what it means. And he puts these 2 bands around like the side of your head. And then he puts on a visor that's hooked up to the machine, and you can see on the outside like the visor kind of like glows green as the machine begins computing. And he says, "Well, you don't have a radiation level higher than anybody who's been consuming wild fare in the wastes, so nothing out of normal there. Your blood oxygen content is good." Your heart beats regular, but your brain waves are completely out of whack. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on here. I've never gotten a reading quite like this.
I got hit pretty hard, I guess.
He says this isn't indicative of blunt force trauma. He says I'm not really sure how to interpret this yet, but you say you're not Lenzer. Why do you say that?
Concussed.
We're
I
all
guess.
together, right? Sorry.
I don't
We're all
know.
together.
I think he left on his own. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Roll a deception, I guess. Will.
Now you can't convince them.
4.
Yeah, he's looking at your eyes, and he says, "Well, your pupils are not dilated. You seem to be fully coherent, speaking well. You don't seem to have." He says, "This is very strange." He says, "Do you remember where you were headed?" He says, "Where we were headed, what we were doing here."
To the vault.
Exactly. Exactly.
This is always-
He says, "Well, you still remember your core directive." He says, "I don't believe you are concussed. This is all very strange, Lenzer. You're acting out of character." He says, "I'm not really sure what to make of this." He says, "Well, likely we'll just need to rest through the night, and hopefully you're feeling much better in the morning."
Is there? Oh, I got. All right. Well, let me get some food in me, some booze, and I'll get some sleep.
Okay. And as you turn around, he says, "Just one more thing." He says, "Now I know that these were lower. You can see by the insignia that these are lower-ranking members of Neville Corps. So I assume that they wouldn't have any of these materials. We will thoroughly check the camp, but they didn't. You didn't undergo any procedures before they tortured you, right? I see no lesions. I see no scarification upon your head." He says, "Did they happen to put you under at any point? Were you knocked out for an extended period of time where things may have been done to you?"
Would I know this?
No.
I think you're just bullshitting at this point.
Okay. I just reach for my neck and rub it. Just the old lynching.
He says, "Okay. Yeah, I imagine they were interrogating you, correct?
Yes.
Did you tell them anything? Were there more of them? Did any escape?" This.
Negative. My boys got them all.
Good to hear. Whew. He says, "Well, thank you." He says, I appreciate it. I'm glad to see that you still have your tools. I'm glad to see that you're still alive. And I'm glad that your friends were here to save you." He says, "Tomorrow we will go to the vault. For now you can rest. And when we bring you back to the city of buried steel, we will see what we can do about we can see what we can do about your psyche, your condition."
Alrighty, thank you, sir.
This is very well. He looks over to one of the other rats, and he says, or one of the other Mao. And he says, "Sammy, why don't you put together a meal here, and bring out the kid as well. I need to do some work while we're here in this camp."
Were we able to hear any of what was going on between Wilton and the doctor?
Hey, roll a perception, because you guys didn't walk over there, so.
Never heard of doctor-patient confidentiality.
Damn, these rolls suck today.
Yeah, no, you guys didn't really hear much. Edgar might have picked up a few things.
Just the part about them preparing a meal. Just,
It's like, food.
food. Hope it's not trash.
Yeah, you talk about food, okay?
Scavengers.
Well, I want to walk over to Welton and, hey man, what was all that about?
Listen, they know something. Oh, are we out of the tent?
I don't know. Or you guys are just standing out in the middle until you tell me you go
Can
somewhere.
I walked over to Wilton. I don't know where he was.
Oh, so he's over by the diagnostic machine, unless he walked back to where you guys are. I don't know.
No.
Okay, I just follow. I put my arm around John. Walk with me.
I want to walk over to Edgar. I want to walk
I
over
put
to
my
Edgar.
tail on his shoulder
Okay.
too. Tickle his ear.
Put his
I don't know who you want to do first.
There you go.
Oh my god.
Okay, we'll do Edgar. We'll do Wilton and John first.
What was that all about, man?
Listen, they know some shit's up with my brain waves. I don't know why we have to lie to these people. They need us regardless, because I'm the only one who knows the location of this vault that they want us to go to.
What do you think's in the vault?
Do I know what's in there?
No. You know that they were. Yeah, actually, no. You just weren't able to pick that up. No.
I don't
Do they
know. But whatever it is, it's important.
Do they know any reason why this guy was being choked out by all these people?
As far as I know, he liked it rough. No, probably to gain access to what I knew. But we killed them all, and as far as I know, Linda didn't say anything.
Yeah, but who are they?
The bad guys?
Yeah. We kind of just went in guns blazing. We didn't ask many questions.
Who the hell were these people? What were they called?
Neville.
So they were from Neville Corps.
Neville.
The low-ranking Neville Corps warriors, agents, cunts, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, then. I'd
I
like
don't know
to
how
go.
much longer I'm going to be able to put up this Linzer act, though.
I mean, do you know anything of Lenzer? Like, can't you just do it for at least enough to get away smoothly?
I think we should go with them to this vault, and if need
Well,
be, we can.
Naturally, we're looking
rest of
for
them.
priceless objects. Priceless objects tend to be in vaults.
Or we can come clean, and they'll need us anyway. And if there's any trouble, well, we can. I'm using my tail to do that.
I mean,
Oh, drag your tail across your throat like that's hella funny.
their friend is dead, man.
It's not
I
our
don't think
problem.
they're going to
He
take that
died
lightly
before
that you
us.
just hijacked the body.
Hey, he's a meat suit, and I got it.
Can you please stop talking with your tail?
I
Please.
can't. It's involuntary. And I rub my forehead with the tail.
I try swatting it as it's like.
John's swatting the tail away as it like snakes around him. All right, and then we're gonna go to Edgar and Daigle. Where are you guys going? Are you guys standing in the middle of the camp still, or there's two tents here, and the rats seem to be hosting themselves up in the one on the right, and the two tents are only about like 15 feet away from each other.
Where are we
I just hold my arm out.
Are we at
We just
Edgar-
walk a little
Are we
bit.
with
We could pace a little bit.
Are we with Edgar and Daigle? Is that, sorry.
Yeah, Edgar
Yeah,
and Daigle.
yeah.
Hey, Daigle, sorry about the third nipple juice thing. I'm just really curious about what it does.
You're fucking close. That's all right.
Hell, maybe you can help me with something. I want to run a little experiment.
Maybe you can help me with something. What's going on? Go ahead. You first. You first.
We find the dumbest one of these rats, and we spike their drink with the purple nipple fluid, and we see what it does.
Oh my god!
I could definitely double down on something like that. That makes a lot of sense.
You
to
help me find the one that's most prone to alcoholism.
Well, that's obviously the one in our party now, which I have some couple words to exchange with that.
We don't poison. We don't
So-
purple liquid our own.
Bone crack. He was inside my brain. He was in me. He was in my body. I thought things I'd never thought before. All kinds of things. But I was sure to myself that at some point, how do we know we can trust him at this point? I mean, Bone Craig has always been a rat bastard, but now he's literally a rat bastard. I don't know if we could trust him on this. Another thing too, I don't think that boy in our fucking Lenny or whatever the fuck his name is, Bonecraft, the guy before. I don't know. What if these rat bastards also sent him to die out there and they just want to make sure that the job is done? And then another thing too, that creature they were. I felt some presence with that. I feel like they have something to do with us in the past, but I can't really remember. But we slaughtered them. What if that was us? What if that was our lineage? What if we relate to them? They're my kin. I don't know, but I feel something crazy.
Look, Daigle. I just put my arms on his shoulders. I'm just like, that's why we're gonna purple goo one of them.
Wait, is your arm, is the nipple on this side or the other one?
I have one on each side. Okay.
That's gross. That is fucking.
Yes, I'm a quadruple. I'm a quadruple nipple man. All right.
Right.
They just become nipples.
I'm more than just 4 nipples. I'm a man of science. Now let's find our rat.
I hope they're not lactose intolerant because they're getting
quote right there.
A quadruple of nipple from your mommy milkers.
Are you gonna help me find this rat or not?
Oh. So, we got our wet nurse. Now let's just find the rat.
You're a wet nurse. All right. Me and Daigle are gonna find our rat that's coming up to party with us.
Can we do a perception check? Like find or like what is the chillest rat? I don't know how to put that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Roll. Go ahead, roll, guys.
Fuck, dude, I'm doing shitty today.
We all are.
Yeah, Daigle. Okay, 12. Sure. Okay, so out of everyone that you can see, Sammy seems pretty chill. He's all right. He's the Mao who's setting up the he's actually got a large kettle and in a fire in the center of the camp. And he's sitting there, he's throwing stuff into the pot, and you can just see him kind of like, you know, like nodding to himself and thinking as he's like cooking the stew. He seems pretty chill.
Can I go up to him and go, "What's your brewing there, sailor?"
And he looks you up and down, and he says, "The sailing life ain't the life for me, bud." He says, "You got some." He says, "You look pretty human, but those feet."
Forgot about the feet.
Fuck. Wait. Where did my boots go? What the fuck? Where are these fucking... My hands...
He says, was one of your parents a palmonid? I've never seen
What the fuck?
You don't have very much hair. This rat's looking in the eyes saying, "You don't have very much hair."
I'm in the background. I'm in the background trying to get him to make him turn his back. Did you say he's making? Did you say he's like making food?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like trying to get Daigle's attention to try to get him to turn around. Like
you can see that. Okay, so right now he's sitting on a stump. And he's got like a fire, and he's got a kettle over it with like a metal fixture to hold it up. And he's throwing stuff in the pot as he's talking to Daigle. And next to it, there's a stack of like 10 wooden bowls that are on the ground that are next to this rucksack that's kind of like just set on its side. And you can see that there's a ladle and like 10 bowls that are next to it.
get him to.
Well, Sammy, do you care for a drink?
Oh, do you care for a drink? He says, maybe. What you got?
Oh, I don't got nothing, but what do you have? Where's that rat poison at? You know what I mean?
He says you better shut your mouth with that rat shit. He says you just go over there and wait till dinner's done.
I'm joking. I'm like, I'm so, I
He says, well, it's
apologize.
not. He says, well, it's not very funny.
I'm trying to get Daigle's attention, like trying to get him to turn around so I can squeeze my nipple juice into the food.
Reconnected.
Well, is this funny? And then I like lick my fingers and then I just touch his tail I go behind him, I lick my fingers and touch his tail.
Oh no. Okay, so the moment you touch his tail, he stands up straight and he shoves you in the chest.
While this is
Wait, is that like wait,
Hold on, let me roll.
Wait, is that like this? Hold on. Is that like this?
Well, he's almost 5 feet tall, so he's tall enough to push you in the chest. So yeah, it's a 17 to shove you over. I think that's gonna tumble you.
All right.
is his back turned? Can I sneak up?
He shoves you.
Sorry.
He shoves you down to the ground, and Frank, and you can see Frank, the guy with the rifle and the leather, is like, he looks from across the way, and he says, "What's going on out here?" And Sammy turns over. What?
Can I say something as I'm down? Wow, dude, it was a joke. It was a tail joke. This is greatest night of campfire history.
He turns to Frank and he says, he called me a rat, and then he called me a rat, and then he had the audacity to touch my fucking tail. And
That was a Chris Rock thing, by the way.
Yeah. And Frank says, all right. He says, sounds like this is between you two. All right. And he just goes back in the door, and Sammy says, you better apologize or I'm going to kick your fucking ass. Yeah, you can see what's going on. And you can see the way that Sammy's tail's moving. He's very agitated. He's really pissed off.
Can I tell him it's like, wait, it was a joke. I just fucking touched your tail. What? And I just wanted to kind of keep this going while Edgar does his thing.
Oh, sure. Okay.
I'm trying
what are you doing,
to
Edgar?
sneak and squeeze this nipple juice into the food while they have their altercation.
Into the whole pot of food?
Not one
so,
time.
Edgar, roll a d20 and then roll a d6.
Okay. Together?
We're gonna be like, we have to be like, don't eat.
I mean, you can roll them together, sure.
Okay. We just gotta make sure our people don't eat it if I can pull it off. Fuck.
Okay, so you got a 3 on the d6. Okay. And let me. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, so nobody notices you as you lean your shoulder over the thing and start milking yourself into the stew.
Can I continue my banter?
Okay, here we go. As Edgar is doing this, though, Edgar, how are you feeling right now as you're doing this?
Feeling anxious, trying to get it in there before they can.
Yeah. So right now, Daigle is just like basically, it's really hard to describe Daigle, but there's a scent that enters your nostrils, and it smells like anxiety. You can you just get this sense of like anxiety in the air, and Sammy kind of feels it too, and Sammy looks at you and he's like, "Look, you're turning yellow."
Can I like do something? I want to distract him. I'm gonna be like, I get it. You're upset. I touched your tail and didn't pay for it. You know, you can touch my tail and I'd pay for it. Look, Sammy, we go for a bag starts. You're a good mom. Just give me a hug. And I just reach my arms open. I just like kind of walk forward and kind of just try to hug him and like.
Okay, roll dex.
Console the mouse.
Oh God, dude! Why? Do we have any like?
All right, he shoves you back as he's surprisingly strong for how little it is, and he shoves you back again. You don't fall down this time, but he pushes you back, and he says, "Don't fucking touch me." He's like, "You're either gonna apologize or I'm gonna kick your fucking ass." That's what I said, and that's what I'm gonna fucking do. And you're not gonna have any stew tonight either way.
Can Edgar move closer and try to do another?
Well,
Sorry,
I've
again.
already squeezed the shit in the stew, right? So I'm just gonna walk up.
Oh, did it make it in the stew?
I have no.
Well, Dago, roll and see if you can if you saw that. You see Edgar moving towards the stew, but let's see if you saw that. Okay, with your perception, you see that Edgar has got the deed done.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Mr. Samuel Mao. I apologize.
He says, well, in case you didn't know, he says, a Mao's tail is sacred. Don't ever touch a Mao's fucking tail again.
Hey, mine's secret too. Sort of like I'm just waving about all in the wind for anyone to come and just fucking touch and grab. And God forbid if they do, but I'm secret about it.
He says, and he goes back over to the stew.
All right.
And he dips the ladle in there and mixes it, and he takes a little sip from the ladle. Okay, so after he takes a sip from the ladle, you can see that he seems to just completely relax. You see that what you see is like his tail is still kind of like agitated, like moving back and forth, like a cobra ready to strike, you know. And it seems to just kind of like slow down until it loops and like just goes down to the ground. And you can see his brow, which was all like knotted up while he was talking to you, just kind of like relaxes. And he licks his lips a few times, and he says, "You know what? I never did like humans."
Hey,
Man, I got a fart.
this is not what I thought was going to happen at all. Hey, tell me your darkest secret. I'm just standing here with no shirt on, just hovering over the stew.
He says, one time, he says about 4 years ago, my sister gave birth to a human and I ate it. I know I wasn't supposed to do it because they make great researchers, but I never liked humans. And I thought it would be maybe delicious. I wasn't sure what man flesh would taste like, and it turns out it's really not that great. And it made me sad. I feel sad. I don't feel sad thinking about it for some reason, but I should feel sad. It usually makes me feel sad.
This is amazing. Yeah, I'm sure the stew is really good. Why don't we go ahead and get everybody out here and get some?
He says, that sounds like a great idea. Plus, the stew is like totally done. At least I don't think it'll kill anybody. You know, everything should be pretty well cooked in there. It's been going on the fire for a little while.
There's no human in that
Wow.
stew, is there?
Can I ask Edgar?
He says,
go over to
no,
him and
there's no
whisper-
human in the stew.
Can I whisper over to Edgar?
Dinner's ready, Sammy yells.
Is your fucking titty milk a fucking truth tonic?
I think it is, but I think we need to run a few more tests. So let's see how the other rats fare.
Titty fucking truth tonic.
The titty truth.
Titty truth tonic.
I'm gonna walk over to the gathering.
Okay. So yeah, the other rats and the human researcher come out to the camp. So Dean, Sammy, Frank, and Peter all sit down, and I guess you guys join them, and they begin ladling out bowls of the stew to everyone. And Sammy says, I you know what? I think that I've outdone myself tonight. This is quite a special stew, maybe. And humans are sloppy pieces of shit. But I feel like it's okay to eat with them because they saved our friend, you know? And Dean looks at him and he says, well, that's rather candid of you. And as he
Dago,
takes a bowl of stew.
I want to look to Dago and be like, what the fuck did you do to him that he hates all of us now?
Everyone's
No.
being handed a bowl of stew. What do you guys do?
I'm just gonna, I'm gonna pretend to eat it, but then when no one's looking, just throw it.
John and Wilton don't know about what happened.
I was gonna say, are you guys gonna?
No,
It's you could try to secretly tell them, but we'll have to see how that
I think
goes.
it's gonna blow our cover, so we'll just go ahead and let them eat the stew.
I guess
Can
we're
I-
eating it.
Can I go over to John and then slap his bowl out of his plate and just say, "You're on a strict diet of meat only. You fucking protein man."
I do have a question since I saw all this, not all of it transpiring, but Daigle getting pissing off Sammy. Did I
Daigle,
see Edgar doing it by chance?
Doing what?
Putting his nipple juice in the stew?
Go ahead and roll a d20 with disadvantage. Just roll 2 d20s.
Oh shit! 19.
Yes, you do. That doesn't count for experience because it was with advantage, but you do get you did see what happened. Yes, you saw him milk his nipple into the stew.
I just pretend to eat it and just like kind of flick it over my shoulder.
That's so fun. Okay, so the others begin to chow down, and I'm gonna need to hold on a second.
I want to flick Daigle and be like, "You better go get me another fucking bowl."
This man needs a leg of a turkey. Is there fucking turkey here? And then can I whisper in your ear and be like, can I whisper in John's ear and tell him like,
Okay, what do you want to whisper into John? Well, here's the thing. John's been handed a bowl of soup, and you're trying to go over that. So, John, realistically, they hand you a bowl of soup after a big day. Do you just dig in, or do you wait for Daigle to creep over to you and try to tell you something?
Well, I was already next to Daigle in the first place before I got
oh
the
yeah,
soup.
I was gonna slap
okay.
it out of his hand. Sorry, I
Yeah.
was gonna slap it out of his hand.
Because I
And
had,
Wild folk
I
more.
had walked
Gotcha.
up to Daigle and asked Daigle, "Why the hell does that guy hate us so much? How much did you fuck with him that he hates all of us now, all humans?"
Oh, okay, yeah. So you have a chance to tell him, or slap it
Okay.
out of his hand, or whatever.
Yeah, Diggle slaps it out of his hand.
Okay. Do you try to stop him? He goes to slap it out of your hand.
I don't think I suspected it at all.
Okay, he slaps it right out of your hand. The soup goes all over the floor, and okay, what do
And
you
then
say?
I look at Sam and go, "This man here is your muscle. He cannot drink a ratio of more fucking liquid over meat. This man needs a turkey leg. What do you have from those meat scraps that you have in a wholesome that you're not fucking boiling?"
He says, he says, "What do I look like? A fucking butcher? I don't have any meat. There's a millet, and there's carrots, and there's beans. There's all kinds of good stuff in here. And if you can't eat it, then fuck him."
We're gonna have some
Hey.
carrots. I look at John the eye, I wink at him, and I say, "We're gonna have some carrots."
Daigle, you better give me some
I'm
fucking
confused.
food, Daigle. I swear to God.
You're a fucking jackass. You deserve a carrot. But I want to walk with John off a little bit, and then I want to say, "Oh, don't fucking eat the soup. Don't fucking eat the soup."
Did you shit in it?
Yes, fucking shitting it. I was shitting it because it was fucking funny. I fucking did it.
What the fuck? Why do you keep doing this?
I did it by accident. It was a dare. Fucking shh, shh. I'll talk about it in the
go
morning.
one meal without shitting or shoving a sausage down
That
someone's
is
throat?
not my. The sausage is different. That man wanted it. early bird gets the fucking sausage. You know that.
Attention! I start banging the
Give me
spoon.
food.
I start banging the spoon on the now empty bowl that I dumped. It's like,
Okay. Yeah, you see everybody else is just dug in. Sorry. And what are you saying now?
to celebrate this new union of Mao and human and Sardashian, why don't we go ahead and open up and tell each other? Why don't we get to know each other a little better? How about everybody start with what's the worst thing they've ever done?
I wink at John. I wink at John as we're like eating the carrots from away. I wink at John and I point at the group by the fire.
Yeah, Sam says, "Well, as I've already explained, I ate a human baby that my sister gave birth to."
Yeah, that was very that was very fucked up, and now we're healing from that. Anybody else?
I also whispered to John.
Frank turns over and just says, "Like that is really fucked up, man. That is really fucked up that you would do that. That's like really shitty. What the fuck is wrong with you, Sam?"
What's the worst thing you've done, Frank?
He says, "Oh, me? He says, "Oh, wow. Oh, gee. Well, one time I went out on a mission, right? And we were supposed to be returning this relic back to our facility, and one of our comrades ended up. We weren't sure what had happened to him, but he was too slow to carry, and we had enemies on our tail, so I had to shoot him in the head."
Ooh, anybody?
I had to shoot him in the head and leave him there in the desert because they could have captured him and maybe got some intel out of him before he died from the torture, you know?
Ooh. Can anybody top Frank's here?
Dean says, so you can see that you can see Peter is like Peter looks over and he's like, you probably shouldn't be talking about things like that, guys. And as he's saying that, Dean looks over and he says, "Well, in the research institute I run back deep beneath the sands in the city of buried steel," he says, "I have studied longevity. And in those trials," he says, many scores, in fact, possibly hundreds of children have died through the process of the research to try to increase our race's longevity."
Were you successful in any of these trials?
Not in the slightest. Our research has not advanced at all in a period of over 100 years. This is generations of researchers, not just myself. And Peter says, no, something's wrong. You should not be talking about this. Why are you talking about the city of buried steel? Why are you talking about our home to these strangers?
Because we're very nice people. You can trust me. I'm a Kardashian.
And Dean says, "There's I see no reason why we should withhold this information from friends of friends. The Lenzer seems to trust them."
Exactly. If you're Mao, we're Mao. And we're in this together, fellas. Now, while we're in it together, you know the secret that I keep forgetting the location, the secret center. It's this massive vault area. Bob, I left my map in one of these fucking tents. Ah, shit. I left it on the road to go save Linzer. Who has a map? Do you mind if I borrow
this
it?
guy just kind of goes on and on, doesn't he? Wow, he never shuts his mouth.
So what's going on?
I shut my mouth.
And he's ugly, and his feet look like they stink.
All right, just shut up. Now you're kind of going too far.
Speaking of maps and treasure, what was the thing? What was the mission you sent Linzer on, anyways?
He says, "Oh yes, we sent him from the city with his two friends, Jeff and Nico, and they were supposed to find us the location of this vault where they may have an extensive medical laboratory where we may be able to scavenge some supplies, and if we're lucky, some informational discs that we may be able to decode back at our own lab, and maybe suss out some of this long lost technology that has been that has evaded us for so many centuries."
That sounds interesting. Would you perhaps need any help along this mission of yours?
He says, "Of course." He says, "The perils of cracking an old vault are numerous, as often there are leaks. And once radiation gets into radiation, where strange bacteria gets to grow freely in an area for years and years and years, and we're talking these vaults are hundreds of years old." He says, "You never know what you're going to find. Terrible diseases, killer molds, mutants. You never know."
If we decided to join you on this journey of yours, would you compensate us for the miles lost towards Sanctuary. I don't know.
He says, why in the hell would you go to Sanctuary? He says, there's nothing but a bunch of slavers there.
We're looking for somebody, a group called the Slop Tops.
He says, oh, the Slop Tops. He says, there's actually one who stays with us in our home city.
Wait,
He says they're involved with Brink.
who the hell is Brink?
He says, oh, you don't know about Brink, but you're from the wastelands, aren't you, Ugly?
God, they sure. Yes, but we seem to have been struck by amnesia. Maybe it's one of those flash radiations you've been talking about.
Hey, Peter, does my dick look big? And he stands up and he spreads his fur out and he says, he says, sir, put that away. What are you doing? He said, I just had a thought. I'm not sure.
Hey, can I yell from back there as I'm chewing on half of a carrot and I have the other half of the carrot? Close mouth with this carrot.
If we help you,
I run over.
if we help you with your run for medical supplies and this technology, will you bring us to the Slop Top that lives among you?
He says, yes. Oh, yes, the Slop Tops. He says, maybe we could bring you back to the city of buried steel. He says, but very likely you would be interrogated and you may never be allowed to leave. He says, but I would gladly bring you there.
Do you guys think that's worth it? Fight our way out.
Hey, Peter. Pete.
Do it.
Oh, Pete boy. He never
says,
told us
wait.
what your dark secret was.
Peter.
He says, well, I have no, he says, well, unlike these others, he says, I see no need to share my deepest secrets with you strangers.
But I am not a stranger to you, Mr. Pete.
He says, yes, Lenzer, but you've been acting stranger. And these others that you're with, they seem a little strange to me. I thank them for saving you. He says, but I know that our missions are very sacred. And you know me, I play my cards close to my chest. He says, I have no need to share my secrets with strangers.
If I share my darkest secret with you, will you share yours with me?
He says, you know what, Lenzer? He says, why don't you were actually there for my darkest moment. Why don't you tell them?
So this guy, apparently this stuff only works on weaker minds because this guy's probably got a
Can I butt in?
Or maybe just the different
Maybe just
races.
now.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, he can't say anything because he's famished. Give him some soup. He'll open right up. He has a bit in his belly.
He says, what's wrong with the soup? He says, why do you think the
Nothing
soup
wrong
will
with
make
the
me
soup.
open up?
It's warm. It's cold outside.
Because he's hungry.
He goes over to the pot of soup and he sniffs it and he says, this doesn't smell right. It smells like anxiety and alcohol. He says, and he kicks over the pot and he says, we need to go to bed now.
Damn it. Look, despite of what you
And Dean says, why are you? He says, why are you acting so strange, Peter? He says, why would you dump out all that food? You know how much food is worth? And Peter says, I have reason to believe you've been poisoned.
Tell him I've reason to believe Peter's been poisoned.
And Dean says, well, why do you think that we've been poisoned? And wait, what does he mean? You're poisoned, Peter. He says, you don't look poisoned. You just look ugly and human. He says, I don't see. This is exactly the thing. You would have never say that to me, Father. You would never say that to me.
Or maybe that's how he really thinks, Peter. And who are you going to believe? A Sardashian or a human? It's not poisoned, all right?
He says, they've done something. I'm not sure what they've done, but there's no way that any self-respecting Mao would spill this many secrets in one sitting with outsiders, regardless if they are friends of Lenzer. They've never been to the city, any except for Lenzer.
And we're willing.
He says, I'm taking you to bed now. And Dean says, he says, well, I suppose I should defer to you, Peter. I said, you seem to understand what's going on, even though you're a total buzzkill. I guess we'll talk about this in the morning.
So you're really going to bed? You're just assuming that something happened? You didn't even give us a chance to share.
He says, well, Peter's my son, you know, and even though he's ugly and human and kind of disgusts me, my wife loves him, and I am growing to love him as well. And he's been a great research assistant. He's got an astute mind, and he'll live much longer than I will.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
So I must treat him with an amount of trust.
You go ahead and go to bed, Dean, if you'd like.
So Sammy says, he says, I'm not going to bed. I think I'm gonna stay out here. I think me and that guy right there have some unfinished business, and we might be able to settle that tonight.
You're gonna.
Was he recording that?
Points over to Daigle.
Daigle's gonna fuck a rat.
Anyway, there's no way, or no how, or nothing.
Frank says, I'm not feeling tired. He says, in fact, I think I'm going to take first watch. And he unslings his rifle, and he goes and quickly climbs up a tree really fast. Like, you see him get up there in like 3 seconds, just like hot into like a 10-foot branch.
The squaredy bastard.
I didn't know you guys could do that, Wilton.
And you hear him fire his rifle, and it echoes through the woods, and he says, damn, this thing's loud.
Can I go scurry up another tree just to keep watch around the camp while everybody does their...
Sure. And when you go to climb the tree, you actually find that it's like, you don't have to roll for this. It's really easy for you to climb the tree.
That's cool, you're a tree rat.
I'd like to take some light if I can and go look at one of the bodies of the men that are dead. Check out what's in the robes and stuff.
Oh, for sure.
I want to read a little bit of that mechanics books for dummies before I go to sleep.
Okay. And so as you're looking through the guy's coats, you find an additional power cell.
Nice.
You find something strange. It looks like inside of their coats, they have like differing amounts of these, but basically like sewn into the coat are these chains, and the chains are composed of these little links that like twist off quite easily, and they have little inscriptions on them, and yeah, you find like amongst all of them, there's 213 gold links between all of the chains that you find.
Okay, gold chains.
Yeah, but it's important that there's 213 links. And you find some rations that they were carrying as well.
How many?
There are 7 rations.
Oh damn, I'm up to 10. Look at that. And what is this cloak made out of? Is it padded or?
Yeah, it's like a leather cloak.
I want to take it.
Yeah, it's got padded shoulders, and it's got the insignia of Neville Core on the front.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that and stuff that in my bag.
Like Proud
Okay.
Boys.
Okay, you tucked that in your bag. You got it. And what else were people doing? What was Edgar's reading?
Yeah, I just wanted to read that mechanics book for dummies and then sleep. Like Debbie the time halfway of both. Trying to learn some mechanic shit.
Gotcha. Okay. And Daigle and Wilton.
I'm in the tree keeping watch over the night.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Daigle's been drinking, so he's gonna go to sleep.
And as you get up and like start walking towards the other tent, Sammy says, "Where you going, big guy?"
I twitched your fucking tail once. Nothing special. Dream on.
He says, "Well, I'd like to see you try to twist my tail again." He says, "I don't think you've got it in you. In fact, I think I'm going to stomp all over you and piss in your face."
Dude, you're about to get in a brawl. Do it.
I can't tell if I'm about to fight or get raped. I don't know what this
He
means.
says it might be both. This might be the second worst thing I've ever done by the end of the night. We're gonna find out.
I think I'm just gonna climb up a tree and take watch. A bit confused right now.
You think I spend all? He's like rolling up his sleeves, and he's like, "You think I spend all my time just cooking food and being a good Mao and running around with scientists?" He says, "No, no,
You're scaring me, Sammy. You're
that's
scaring
not
me.
what I do." He says,
just
"This
couldn't
is what
fathom
I like," and he puts up his fist.
I look up from that book and I just look at Daigle. It's like he wants an ass whooping. Give it to him.
I feel like he's gonna try to rape me. All right. Gloves are coming off. All right, come here, you fucking rat bastard.
Okay, roll for initiative.
Oh god.
All right.
Oh shit.
Maybe I think
Okay, roll again. You guys are tied.
he broke all the lead now.
Nice.
Okay, yeah, you go first, Daigle.
Can I grab his tail and just shove it in his mouth?
Okay, roll. Yeah, roll. Roll a dex.
Fuck.
Okay, you go to grab his tail, and he whips it back to the other side of his body really quick, and he says, not again. And he goes to slug you in the mouth.
Oh shit.
Oh, yeah, an 18 will hit, right?
Sorry, I had to reload my thing. Oh no, my AC is 17. I don't know if I updated it since then, but maybe not. It's 17.
Word. That'll hit. Okay. You
Do I
take,
use- can I use
you take
my-
5
oh, wait.
points of damage. Oh, wait,
Oh,
what do you
can I
want to
use
do?
my tumbling trick?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Oh, dope. So do
Roll
I
it.
just
That's just a
roll
dex roll, D20, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I have to go through a million pages.
What's your dex modifier?
I think it's a +2. Let me see. Sorry, my mouse isn't working, so I have to use the key thing on here on my laptop.
Gotcha.
+2.
Okay, well, that's going to do it. So what happens? You take half damage, or?
Yeah, I think just half. So 3,
Yep, 3 damage.
because runner takes the base.
Word. Okay. Yep, your turn. Oh, wait, no. He gets to swing again. Sorry.
Sure.
Oh, shit, that's a 20.
Oh shit!
Damn.
Okay, he gets 5
I
XP.
roll now. Oh shit!
Well, you can only use that reaction once per turn.
Oh, I was wondering if I could roll or if a 20 is just automatically just hits me, huh?
It also does,
Oh
yeah.
shit! What the fuck? What the fuck happened to what's his name? Cole.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck, I forgot about
as you're reading your book, Ko stumble is as this fight is breaking out, and you're reading your book, Ko stumbles back in from the bushes just as it's like as it's growing dark, and you hear a gunshot go off, and Ko goes, "Oh, my leg!" And Frank says, "We've got company."
Hey, that's one of ours.
We own him.
He says, "Ask me if I care." And you hear him cock the rifle, and he goes and he fires again at
The
Ko,
fuck? Did he hit him again?
and he hits him. This one catches Ko in the side, and Ko falls. He falls down to one knee, and
warning you.
he looks at you, Edgar, and he says, "Stop them! Stop them!"
I yell at him. It's like, I'm warning you. One more shot and you're done.
One more shot, and you're done. And he says, "Well, I've only got one more shot." And he cocks it, and he fires again.
Jesus Christ.
And this one misses. It flies, it hits the ground and kicks up dust right in front of Ko. And he says, "Well, guess I'm gonna have to come get some more ammo." And he scurries back down the tree.
All right, it's like, look, motherfucker, I can see you everywhere you go. You think I have these eyes for no reason? I will.
He says, "Yes, I understand. You're a Sardashian. You can see in the dark. I get
I'm gonna
it."
try to intimidate him.
He says, He says, but this right here is obviously Nasher's spawn. And if he gets back to his people, they're going to come and kill us.
He's no longer with them. I'm his handler now.
Can I apologize when it comes back to me, or can I?
You can try.
All right.
How much damage did he take for that 20 hit?
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, that was 8 damage.
Oh shit. Damn.
Okay, so yeah, fuck, I don't know how to do this because we're like in combat.
Sorry. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Larian figured it out.
We can go right back there.
Yeah, enters combat. Okay, now you guys roll. I guess we will have to do that. You can try to convince him when it's your turn, Joe. Go ahead and roll initiative.
I guess I'm in combat now.
I was playing, but
I was gonna fuck that.
That makes sense. Everyone's in combat. Yeah, I mean that is how it should be. It's
Lit.
Daigle's turn.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Can I apologize to him? Say, Sammy, we don't have to come to bros tonight. You're right, I'm wrong. I'm sorry for fucking with you. You know, I'm a bit tired. I just need a rest. It wasn't easy rescuing your friend over there. You know.
You want to roll a persuasion?
Yeah.
He says, "Yeah, really happy for what you did for my friend over there. Not so happy with what you did to me."
Shit.
We're gonna have to bury these bodies after this. We're gonna have to hide them from the rest of the rats.
So he goes for another attack. Okay, that's going to be an 18 to hit.
Oh shit.
With his tail, he's lashing out.
So should I? Does he have 2 attacks?
Yes.
So if you hit with my tail, I can use my dodge once per.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just, I guess, let this one hit. So
Okay.
yeah, I'll just
This one hits you, and yeah, it lashes out at you, and actually, instead of striking you, it wraps around your throat.
Oh shit!
And then he leaps off to the side, and he kicks you forward, or he tries to kick you forward. Okay. Oh my god, this is terrible. Okay, so he. Fuck, can I?
Was that
Is that a
20?
1?
Is that a 20?
It's a 20.
Damn. This motherfucker's hitting 20s
So
left and right.
Rolling so good.
I know.
I wish we could roll 20.
Wait, your guys'
That'd be nice.
combat's non-lethal, isn't it? Are you guys just brawling?
Well,
It can be lethal. It can be lethal.
Okay,
I'm just brawling. I'm just
Daigle's
brawling.
being choked right now.
I won't reveal what type of damage it is until later.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, he kicks you forward, and now he's got you in this weird off balance kind of thing where you're like leaned forward, and he's like pulling, and he's like choking you with the tail.
Do I take regular damage or?
You take 4 damage.
All right.
And it is John's turn.
I want to go up behind the mouth that's choking Daigle and kick it at the base of its tail.
Okay. All right, you're going to get advantage because he actually doesn't even see you coming up.
That's like freeing me. That's like a helping hand plus the attack.
Nice. That 15 plus is going to hit. Yeah, because you have like +6 to hit, I think.
And do I get a second attack with that since it's unarmed or only with fists?
Yeah, you get a second hit. So that first kick to the tail, yeah, it does. It actually does. He releases his grip on Daigle. Daigle falls forward, or maybe like tumbles to stay up. You can roll a dex for that. And he falls. And John, yeah, okay, yeah, you kick him in the back, and he says, "Hey, that's not fair, man. This is a 1-on-1."
For my second attack, I just want to push him away, tell him to stop it.
Stop it.
Okay. Yeah, you go ahead and roll.
Oof.
Okay.
Well then.
See, you go to push him, but I guess you underestimate how short he is, and your arms kind of just go out around him. Your arms kind of just like go around him. He kind of ducks you, and he swings up with an uppercut.
Oh fuck.
That's gonna be a 15 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okie dokie. And that will just do 3 points of damage. And then he backs up from you and he says, "It's okay, man. It's okay." And he looks back towards Daigle and he says, "Looks like he learned his lesson."
Okay.
Oh, I've learned my lesson.
Good hit, I guess.
He says, "You're looking at me like I'm gonna kill this guy. You look like me like I'm gonna kill this ugly stinkfoot bastard. I'm not gonna do that."
Well, I don't know much about Mal, but generally when humans are being choked, they can die.
He says, "Oh, we got like real thick necks, you know."
Well, Lenzer over there almost got choked to death.
Oh, Sammy, I hope you have a good night tonight. I hope you sleep tight, but we'll just see how thick your neck is. in the future.
Just threatening out of beating your ass.
He says, "Oh shit."
Sweet.
He says, "It sounds
Sweet
like."
dreams, Mr. Ratchman.
So is that what you said to him though? Yeah.
Yeah.
You see how thick your neck is. He says, "Oh man. Oh gee." He says, "Wow." He said, "I might actually have to kill this guy." And he starts walking towards the tent. Right after Daigle.
Daigle, you really need to learn when to shut up.
I think you need to learn how to better timing. Really,
I slapped
the
Daigle.
fuck.
You slap Daigle, then Sammy goes, "Oh, he's on my side, yeah."
Oh, John! Wait a minute with her. You're a bully, right? Fucking
And
bully.
as he's walking up to you, Daigle, you see his cheeks begin to swell up, and he leans forward and he just starts puking everywhere on the ground. And then you can actually hear like a few seconds after that, you can hear retching inside of the other tent as Dean is puking, and you see that Frank is like coming out of the tent and he's got the gun and he cocks it and he turns over towards Ko and Edgar and starts puking and drops the rifle on the ground as he goes up into push-up position, just puking on the ground.
I want to dart for the gun if I can.
And Sam, he looks over and he's just like, "What the fuck is going on?" He says, "We were fighting."
How many of them are there?
4.
4?
Good job writing those down.
Yeah. Whose turn is it?
It should be Edgar's.
Yeah, it's Edgar's turn.
Edgar.
All right, who was I fighting again? What's the guy's name?
He's throwing
Frank?
up right now.
Yeah, Frank is like he was walking out with his rifle and he just started puking in front of you.
All right, I'm gonna I'm gonna say something before, see if I can scare him into whatever. So I'm just gonna be, well, you're not looking too well there, Frank. Tell you what, you're gonna help my friend here with his wounds that you caused. I'm gonna take this rib bone here, and I flip it in my hand. And I'm gonna rip it through your thick fucking neck, pull out your larynx, and make a little skin fluke. That didn't come out right. Let's see if that scares him.
Okay, yeah, okay. Roll intimidation. You have advantage because he's like really fucked up right now.
Oh fuck, dude! I keep rolling.
You have
Roll
advantage.
again.
Roll another.
You have advantage.
Oh, roll!
You
Roll
another.
again. Okay. Oh hell yeah!
Okay. All right. And he looks at you. He says, "I don't know. I don't know what you did to us." He says, "But okay." He says, "Okay. I can't believe I just shot that man." says, "What the fuck is going on, Peter?" And Peter comes out, and combat's over. Guys.
Okay, cool.
Peter comes running out, and he says, "There's gunfire. You're running in here. You're grabbing clips. There's a man bleeding on the ground." He says, "What the hell is going on out here?"
This is the Neville's doing. I've seen it before in our travels through the wastelands. They produce a cloud. It makes everybody delirious. That's why we're all giving out our most deep, darkest secrets. I told you all. I ate a pig penis once.
Yeah.
You guys probably don't remember because memory loss was part of it too.
Yeah. And Daigle never shuts up when this happens. It's a thing.
Yeah, and he says, and Frank says, it's all fuzzy. I don't remember exactly what happened. He says we were eating dinner, and then, oh my God, did I? Oh my God, I shared the most depressing point in my entire life tonight.
I don't remember. Anybody else remember? You guys remember? Point to the rest of us.
I vaguely recall sharing something, but I just don't remember.
Okay, roll a deception with advantage, Edgar, and the only person that won't have advantage on is Peter.
15 and a 17. There's the good rolls.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, there's
And
all the good rolls all in one.
Yeah. And you add your what do you add to deception? Is that wisdom? No, charisma.
Charisma. My charisma is +1.
Okay. Oh, nice. Excellent. And let me just do some rolls over here. Okay. And he says, well, Peter says, well, I didn't smell anything off in the air. There was something wrong with the stew. He says, perhaps whatever happened here earlier contaminated the food. I did see the rucksack laying on the ground, so perhaps some of the ingredients became contaminated with the poison that Neville Core used on you.
It would only make
Very
sense.
astute.
Where we're from in the wastelands, the Nevilles call it chemtrails. It's an airborne thing.
Chemtrails. He says, okay, we'll have to speak with our contact over at our contact we have in Sanctuary and see if they have any more information on this. And you see he pulls out a little notepad and takes a note.
Good. Excellent. So
Frank looks over at you and he looks over at you and Co. and he says, I'm ashamed of what I did. I think for a moment there that I knew this man was one of yours and I still shot him. He says, for that I apologize. I am ashamed. As a guardian, I am ashamed.
I put my hand on his shoulder. I'm just like, you're all right. You didn't know what you were doing. It happens to the best of us. But this, Co, is a brother in arms. And he'll help you. To find your guys'
Co goes, he says, oh! He's got this wound in his leg, and he reaches out and he grabs Frank's neck.
Oh, Co, easy. They were under persuasion of something ungodly. Ungodly.
Okay, make a roll with disadvantage to try to convince Co.
Shit. Ooh.
Oh, so roll one more. The other one's gonna be the one that counts.
Oh, okay. Fuck.
Yeah. Okay. So Co grabs Frank in the neck and pulls his head into his head and knocks Frank out.
Okay.
And he drops Frank on the ground and he looks over to you and he says, "Eat him. We eat him."
Co, these are not our enemies. I'm gonna speak in his tongue. I don't know if they can understand his tongue or not. Can they? Or well, I guess you can't tell me that.
I guess you wouldn't know.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna speak to him in his tongue and just tell him it's like, Co, these aren't our enemies. They're going to bring us to a battle, to a great battle. Blood will be shed. It'll be glorious.
I'd like to walk over to one of the dead people and cut off a nose
My
and ear.
blood shed. He shed my blood. He shoot. Ow!
It wasn't his fault. The enemy poisoned us. I gotta say that because I don't know if they can understand me too, so I gotta keep going on with the facade.
He says, must stop blood. Must eat. Me hungry.
And they will help you. Do not hurt them. I will find you. Look, there's plenty of bodies here. I'll cut their ears off. I'll bring them to you.
And the noses.
And the noses.
Yeah.
And whatever else you want. Tongue? You like tongue?
I like tongue. Yes.
All right.
Tongue.
We'll cut their tongues off.
Good tongue. Yes, tongue. Like tongue.
All right. I'll get right on that. Why don't you let these good mouth folk patch you up? And I'll go get those tongues for you.
Okay, Peter comes out with some stuff, and he sees that Frank's like knocked out on the ground. You can see Ko is like, as you're going over to another body and like starting to cut parts off of it, Ko is like dragging himself along the ground towards another body, and you see that he just opens the body's mouth and like just reaches his mouth into its mouth and grabs the tongue and rips it out of his mouth. And starts eating it.
Because who was I think I'm switching my favorite side character from Lokar to fucking Ko.
Yeah.
Wait.
I'm gonna assist Edgar in the butchering of the people.
The people. Hey, let's get some testicles going too. You might like mountain oysters.
I still got my butcher's cleaver. I'd keep it sharp.
All right.
Yeah. Peter walks up to Edgar and he says, I've got the kit to patch up your friend. What the hell are you doing?
It's the only thing he eats.
He likes noses.
He says, I did take him for Nasher stock. He looks like one of their human
Well,
born.
trust me, he's no longer affiliated with them. We're bound by a contract. Verbal, not written.
He says,
I don't think he can write.
Probably not. But I used to not
and
be
Peter
able to.
says, yeah, I doubt he can. I doubt he
Yeah,
can.
and I used not to be able to write, and now look at me now.
He says, well, I'll patch him up. I mean, having an ally like this would be very helpful.
We can help.
What happened to Frank?
Frank flew a little too close to the sun there.
Oh God, he's face down in his own puke, and he goes and he flips Frank over. Is Frank, are you okay? And he slaps him, and Frank starts waking up.
Ko is still under the influence of the poison. He's calming down now.
He says, very, very well, very well.
The chemtrails are very strong with Nasher-born folk.
Frank, are you okay? And Frank looks up and he's like, oh, he's all dazed, and he grabs Peter's the sides of his shirt and pulls himself up a little bit, and he says, I am ashamed. And he falls back to the ground and just lays there in his puke.
While I'm helping cut,
And Peter
this,
goes over to Ko as Ko's like laying there eating parts of the body on the ground, just raw, straight off the tap. Starts patching up his leg with the bullet wound, and Ko doesn't even react to the guy patching up his leg or anything.
Well, can we?
as I'm cutting off these pieces and handing them to Edgar. Do I notice any scarring on these bodies?
Actually, yes, they're not really like your scars, but you do notice a suspicious large scar that goes straight down from the chest to the belly button on one of the men.
Edgar, come here.
Yeah, I'll walk over there. What's going on, John?
Okay. You dissected the pig people. Should we open this?
I mean,
This looks like what you've done.
I wouldn't be a man of science if I didn't. I'd pull out my cleaver like right in front of my face as we're talking. I go ahead and slice them open.
We'll just sit there with cleavers in our hands.
I go ahead and
Not good.
I go ahead and slice them open and use my
my God.
alchemical science knowledge. I don't know what you call that.
Well, he helped dissect the pig people.
I did do that.
Okay, yeah, I'll say that. I mean, you're proficient in dissection. That's fine because you did work on that for like months with her. But roll an intelligence roll. Just roll a straight intelligence roll.
10 plus 3.
Okay. So you open the body, and when you look into the cavity, first thing that's off is just the coloration of the organs is like completely different. They're not like red or pinkish or whitish like they normally are. There's like some of them are like flame red, like as if like there's an illness. You can see that there are places where some organs have been removed, and you can see that there are bits of metal. It's hard to tell exactly what they are, but there's like these little metal and like glass tubing that's inside of it, and you can see something that's like blinking green.
I started inspecting the blinking green thing closer to see if I notice anything.
Well, you notice that the blinking green thing is at the center of a mass of basically like wires and stuff that go out to the other to his lower body organs. And you can see that there's one wire that goes like straight up the back of his spine.
This looks like the stuff we saw in the tower.
Yeah, the mixture of synthetic with organic. I don't know what to make of it. It's all above my my knowledge.
You think you can take it out?
Well, only one way to find out. I'm gonna try to carefully pull the stuff apart, I guess.
Okay, yeah, make a roll. Yeah, this is gonna be like
Fuck. There it is again.
Okay, so you damage
it.
Yeah, you basically you try to cut it away, but you hit kind of a snag. You end up breaking a bunch of the kind of sensitive material that's around it, but you do manage to remove the blinking green thing. And basically, it's got like a glass cap, and underneath the top cap is this little green light that is blinking, and then it's a small metal cylinder. And there's nothing written on it, but you can see that there's little ports on the side that the wire is connected to.
I think we need to read that book that we got from the tower.
Yeah, and I'd like to run further. I'd like to run for further diagnostics on these bodies. So let's go ahead and load them up in the back of the cart. Take them with us. No.
Okay. I hope
Well, just one of them, I guess. I don't know, or maybe I'll just
the one we're working on, or are we gonna cut the other one?
Actually,
open?
you know what? Let's cut it. Scratch that. Let's go ahead and just cut another one open. I'm gonna go ahead and just like
Okay.
study the inside of it a little bit.
Okay, so you cut another one open that doesn't have the scar, and it's just like a regular human body.
Oh yeah, this is regular body dead giveaway. See the pinkish organs? Yeah, they don't look.
I'm a butcher. I know.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, sorry, didn't mean to ed-splain it. Well, I don't know what's going on here, but I'd like to find out. I'm gonna go ahead and pocket that green flashing thing. I really feel like this might be very important. So when I start homunculying,
Ooh.
I'm gonna go ahead and take it with us.
Well, with the possibility of cybernetic enhancements, that's
Got to remember to start looting the inside of bodies.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna start pulling out some of the wires and shit
thank you,
too.
Stone.
Maybe that input-output thing you're talking about, or whatever. The thing you're saying that it looks like the cords go into.
yeah.
I'm just gonna go.
With
I'm
that,
just gonna go ahead and just loot the inside fucking machine shit that's inside of this body. I don't know.
Before he does that, can I just try to cut away the meat away from the stuff? Like, try not to mess with it, but cut the meat away.
You're gonna try to help him?
Yeah, by cutting the meat away from the metallic parts.
Okay, he got a really good roll, so I'll say
Okay,
that. Yeah, you can basically give him a +2 by helping him. And
Okay.
Since you're a butcher too, yeah, so you're good at this.
Cool.
All right, sweet. So yeah, you guys managed to. It's going to take a while, but you guys begin the intensive operation of removing the rest of the gear from inside of this guy. Very sensitive stuff. You know, you can see that this is kind of like it's very thin wiring, and there's little nodes that go up along the wiring that's connected to the spine. Okay, but you guys begin dissecting this man. Oh, what'd you say? Sorry.
Oh, I just said, and the man begins to cry. The kid in the background.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess at some point when Edgar and I have the time, I want to read through that mechanics manual that we got and see if I can try to cross-reference stuff, see what, if anything.
I mean, we worked
similar.
together because we both know the ins and outs, a little bit of the fucking pig people thing. We might be able to make a cybernetic pig person. And even better, we do have Ko here now. We can turn
shit.
him into one. We just have to.
I mean, his mind's almost gone anyway.
Some sort of fucking cyborg juggernaut.
We could create a cyborg juggernaut, and it would be fucking perfect. I'm saying,
Dude.
All right. So, okay, what are you guys doing? You guys are doing the operation. What's everybody else doing?
I'm just resting to try to get my HP back.
Word.
Yeah, I don't think I ever came down from the tree. I think I'm still on watch. Just watching everything go down.
it's like
Gunshots going off.
I'm not gonna lie, I was gonna come down and kill Ko after he was choking homeboy out, but then it all got settled, so I was like, yeah.
Everybody hell bent on hurting Ko.
Yeah, what the
I
hell?
was only gonna do it because he was gonna start killing the people, and then they was part of our party, so you know we would have lost our trust with our mouth.
Guys,
folk.
I'm the fucking look, okay, I'm the Black Widow to the Hulk in Age of Ultron, all right? We got this.
We're also gonna have to, once we get those components out, ask the guy in the doctor's coat about them.
What? You have to ask.
Oh,
what?
when we get the components out of the body, I want to ask the doctor, the one that was wearing the lab coat, about them. That might help us.
Yeah. So he doctors up. So Peter's doctoring up Ko's wounds, and Dean. You assume that Dean and Frank are like now asleep because by the time that you guys are done dissecting the body, it looks like everybody's basically turned in for the night, except for Peter, who's sitting out in the center, and he's sitting there and he's just like writing a bunch of stuff in his notebook, and you see that he has like a little light that's lit up on his shoulder, like a little white light that's just like aimed down in his notebook as he's writing.
Oh well, so I guess we finished the dissection.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you see as you finish. And and everybody else is nobody's there except for you two, Peter. You guys are covered in blood, by the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to wipe off the components the best I can. I don't want to get them more wet for some reason, but I'm gonna try to dry them off.
You see that Ko is laying on the ground, just like under the stars, cuddled up with the half-eaten corpse.
Oh, look at him, all tuckered out of a hard day of fighting.
So precious.
Yeah, he's got like gauze and bandaging and tape like wrapped around his leg and also his midsection.
So we got the fucking we got the components for the inside of that body.
Mm-hmm. I'm cleaning them as we're walking up to the scientist. So, Peter, right?
Oh, I guess Peter's a human researcher. Never mind.
Mm-hmm. He says, yes, Peter. He doesn't look up from his notebook as he says that.
I noticed that you were pretty smart about stuff. Can you tell me what this is? And I just kind of like shove it in his face, like to try to get it under the light. That he.
Yeah, he looks at it, and he looks down at the sides of the ports. He says, He says there's 8 ports. He says this is an LED light. Let me I can try to open it. and he pulls out this little kit of like fine tools, and he puts it like the thing in a vise, and he begins to like unscrew the bottom, and he pulls it out, and you can just see like this meshwork of like computer chips and all kinds of stuff that are inside of it, and also a vial that has about half full with some greenish yellow fluid. And he says, "Oh wow, 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 wow."
Wow.
He says, "Well, this right here is a complicated piece of technology, and it's disgusting. I think I know where this came from. You cut a man open for this."
We're not. I don't understand this metal stuff, but he's an alchemist, and I've done some work with him.
He says, "Well, while I don't hear people refer to it often as alchemy, I guess your friend must have some knowledge to know to even look for something like this."
I've seen more barbaric
said-
versions of this.
Truly
He says,
horrifying.
"Well, this right here is an anti-mutagenic hormone release system. It helps people to fight off. It helps people to reverse mutations that they've accumulated. This fluid right here, but it is something that needs to be administered for lifelong. This is Neville core technology here, and I don't think we've ever had a specimen intact like this before."
You think it's possible to weaponize it?
Or is it possible to use it without putting it in a body?
He says, well, what you have to understand is this is horrible. He says, you as a Sardashian, he says like something like this would be very harmful to your system. It attempts to regulate the body to be similar to that of a human's, and it can wreak havoc on someone such as yourself or as one of my Mao friends.
What if I were to put it into a body? Let's say I put it into the body of somebody else or something else.
He says this is old tech too, I must say. He says this right here is a very fine casing, and this is newly added to this person who you've taken it from. He says, but at the same time, this is I believe somewhat antiquated technology. When we're talking of Neville Core and New Lang.
So I'm not. This type of technology is foreign to me and my friend here. Is there any way that you can teach us everything you know about it? We're fast learners.
He says, well, I'm not sure how fast of a learner you are, but it would take you a very long time to comprehend this if you know nothing of nanotechnology, molecular science. He says, if these are things that you're familiar with, then of course I could try to bring you up to speed.
You have a dummies guide for us?
He says, oh yes, I have nanotechnology for dummies right here. Anti-mutagenic properties for imbeciles.
I'm working.
Sweet.
I'm working on blueprints, if you will, of a project of mine, and I'm wondering if this could help me with it.
He says, oh, well, tell me a little bit more about your project. Maybe I could be of assistance.
Are you familiar with homunculi?
Homunculi.
I'm gonna flash them. I'm gonna flash them my shitty blueprints I have drawn on the back.
Okay.
On the back of a map. I don't know how to quite get it and run it.
Ooh. He says, wow, look at this. He says, this is very, very interesting, actually. These diagrams, they do look a bit antiquated. He says, but this is a different use of chemicals and flesh synthesis than I've imagined before. Would you mind if I made a copy of this?
As long as you don't bite my word.
He says, no, of course not. He says, this may just be helpful for our longevity research back at the home, back at the base.
If we I tell you what, you can make a copy of it, and after we're done with helping you with those medical supplies, if you help me create, if you supply me with the things I need to create this, I am more than happy to let you have the blueprints to this and to work on your longevity project.
He says, I'm starting to see what Lenzer saw in you. He says, besides, your party rescuing him and obviously at least one of you having some sort of battle prowess, he says, you're a fellow researcher, and I respect that.
Yes, my God damn it. Sorry.
You're okay. He says, but yes, to answer your question, yes, of course. He says, as a matter of fact, if you allow me to copy down this information, he says, where are you from?
I'm from a.
As a matter of fact, where are you from? Where does this technology come from?
It's kind of hard to explain.
We come.
Everybody just calls us wastelanders, but I don't think that about covers
We
it.
come from a forgotten realm, a forgotten place, a forgotten time. And what we're here to do is to make the world better. Believe it or not.
He says, well, I'll take your word for it for now. He says, but either way, I will copy this, and if there are extra supplies that fit into your diagram here, I will make sure that you're able to get them after we complete our mission of raiding the vault.
Thank you. It's most appreciated. I only ask one thing in return. Only keep this between the three of us, unless you believe it's beneficiary to what we're trying to accomplish here.
He says, okay, I think I can do that, at least until you have your supplies. I think that this will be important for Dean to see at some point.
And that's fine. I'm not asking you to lie to anybody. I'm only asking you to be as discreet as you possibly can with this. I don't want it falling into the wrong hands.
He says, you play your cards close to the chest. He says, man after my own heart.
I just give him a smile.
I
He
kind
begins
of
copying down your diagrams.
I kind of tug Edgar away. I was like, do you really think it's smart to give this guy, that? I mean, he killed hundreds, maybe thousands of children.
We're in foreign time. We're in a foreign place now, and a time we know nothing about. I don't know who we.
We've seen what people can do with what we had, and look what they have now.
We're out of options. They seem to have what we need. It's the only option we have right now. And if they screw us over, we can always murder the lot of them. I wink at you and I turn back around.
This is all happening in the tent, right?
No.
Oh,
No,
we're
they're out. They're out at the where the big pot of food was spilled and where all the seats were arranged before all that mayhem went down this
You
evening.
guys, I'm feeling pretty cocky now. I got poison, blood, and truth serum nipples. I think I'm a walking time bomb at this point.
I mean, we gotta test it, the truth serum on
rats,
on other, like on stupid humans to see if it is a brain level.
Yeah,
thing,
we
or
don't know if it
only
if
works.
it's depending on how fucking whatever, if it's an not intelligence, but I don't know.
Luckily, we're going to a frat town.
But
so-
also it could do with weight and size because Peter didn't seem to be affected by it early.
Oh shit! Maybe
Could
you gotta
be,
up the dose.
Yeah, weight, size.
He has a hella high
fucking,
constitution regardless.
That's why I say a heavy ass dose. We got to milk my bad boys like pretty hard, maybe.
Oh my god! All right, and with that, the night begins to come to a close. Peter hands back your diagrams and lets you know that he's going back to sleep. And after all of this madness this day, I believe everyone can hope that you're able to, that on tomorrow morning, everyone's able to put this behind them and you can continue your journey onward to the vault.
Hell yeah.